Hello to all football fans. Today we will explore the incredible impact that Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo have had on this sport and ask ourselves, what would football have been like today without these two icons? I'd say get started now. Who would have won the Ballon d'Or with their absence from 2008 to 2021? In 2008, the prestigious trophy offered by France Football magazine would go to Fernando Torres, who finished third behind Ronaldo and Messi. In that year, Torres had a spectacular year with his Liverpool full of goals, and in that year at Euro 2008 with his Spain he scored the decisive goal in the final against Germany. Between 2009 and 2012 there would have been another dominant duo, the one between the two teammates at Barcelona, Xavi Hernandez and Andres Iniesta. In 2009 the current Blaugrana coach, Xavi, would have it. And Andres Iniesta would come in second place. Many Barcelona players were in fact among the candidates because they won the treble that year. In 2010, Iniesta, who scored the decisive goal in the World Cup final, which came only behind Messi. Xavi, on the other hand, finished third that year and the following year, which, unfortunately for him, was always one step away from the trophy without ever getting it. In 2012, Iniesta would have won it again, once again the Spanish protagonist at the European Championship that year. In 2013, Bayern Munich won the Club World Cup, Champions League, Bundesliga and DFB Pokal, and its biggest protagonist was rivalry, who would have been his turn if it hadn't been for Messi and Ronaldo, as he finished in third place behind them. If after all these triumphs you still can't win it, it means it was impossible to win it during that era. Then from 2014 to 2021, without counting 2018 where Modric won it and 2020 which was cancelled due to COVID-19, the winners without Messi and Ronaldo would have been Manuel Neuer in 2014, who would have been the second goalkeeper in history to win it after Yashin in 1963, Neymar in 2015, Antoine Griezmann in 2016, Neymar again in 2017, Virgil van Dijk in 2019, and finally Robert Lewandowski in 2021. The rivalry. Their great sporting rivalry was one of the most exciting and engaging features in the history of football. This rivalry has fueled numerous discussions among fans, bringing a constant comparison between the two footballers in terms of skills, performances and successes for many years. In fact, it is no coincidence that they are also the two most followed athletes on social media for a long time. The rivalry between Messi and Ronaldo began when both played in the same league, Spain's La Liga, with Messi's Barcelona and Ronaldo's Real Madrid, thus making El Clásico between Real Madrid and Barcelona the most watched and awaited match of the year. Not only was the rivalry focused on which of the two was the best player in the world, but it also extended to individual titles, such as the Ballon d'Or, where they alternated in winning for a decade. This competitiveness has given birth to a healthy spirit of competition and prompted both Messi and Ronaldo to constantly seek to improve themselves, reaching extraordinary levels of performance. Very similar to the sporting rivalry that existed between Maradona and Pelé, with the difference, however, that this is contemporary, therefore much more exciting. Now imagine what football would be like in these years without the two of them. It would practically be almost another sport from a certain point of view. In fact, there would be many more players of a similar level with a much more competitive football, without the absolute domination of the two Spanish clubs which, thanks to the GOATs, had a world very similar to that of the 2000s and 90s, where competitiveness was very great. But football is also philosophy and full of romance and stories, so let's cherish every moment that the god of football gives us, because it will never happen again. The influence. This rivalry has also affected the marketing and social media industry. In fact, when Cristiano landed at Juventus and Al Nassr, the social profiles of the two companies exploded, such as the sale of accessories for their brands. Exact same thing with Messi. A myriad of brands from outside of football have also had the opportunity to be advertised using their image due to their massive popularity. The global resonance of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi has meant that their figures have been chosen to promote a wide range of products and services, transforming them into real icons of marketing as well as football. Influence that has led to football being the undisputed most followed sport in the world, also because always and everywhere only the two of them are spoken of. Even those who know only the name of football, when you ask him for the name of a footballer, will surely answer you with Messi and Ronaldo. Therefore, if the two of them had never existed, football would have suffered a lot, since these two ambassadors of football have made a profound mark on football. They are also idols for a large number of current professional footballers, such as Mbappe, Haaland, Rashford, Garnacho, Dybala and many others. And who knows if their career would have been so successful without the teachings of the GOATs. Records and statistics. You know, Ronaldo and Messi are two players who are followed by records and records like never ending. But if they never existed, who would break their records? In this video, I won't put any firsts in the various football records if Messi and Ronaldo hadn't existed, because otherwise the video would last at least an hour given the hundreds of records they have. So I suggest you visit special websites such as UEFA and sports newspapers that will tell you everything in detail. However, it is interesting to see that practically half of the possible records in football have been established by only two people, an absolute domination and very difficult to equal or surpass. The nice thing about this situation, however, is that it helps new players a lot to be more motivated to beat the various records of Messi and Ronaldo, which have unusual numbers such as 91 goals scored in a calendar year by Messi and 17 goals scored in a single edition of the Champions League by Ronaldo. In fact, Haaland is already getting on a good track for the goals scored, certainly motivated by the two champions, as well as his natural skill. So these numbers help a lot to make the game of football more spectacular every generation. So let's not say that they are just numbers, but also fuel for the players to push more and more. So there is only one thing to say to these two aliens who will leave football within a few years. Simply thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like to support me and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next content. See you in the next video.